What is that? Copper? What are you doing? It's 4 in the morning. What the? We really gotta talk about your attitude problem, man. Teenagers. Okay, I understand I'm hopping on the making a video about my dog bandwagon, but look, I've wanted to update you guys on this little goober for like a year, but Brody just executed it before me. But who cares about that guy's dogs or Bryson's dog when clearly we know the best one? My dog, if you didn't pick up on that. In case you're new, let me bring you up to speed. This is my dog, Copper. Hey, everyone. What the? My family adopted Copper at the end of 2022, and for almost 2 whole years, it's been smooth sailing. For the most part. Copper has changed a lot in the last 2 years. He's no longer a puppy, he's developed more of a personality, and he's even been sober from drawing gloves for 625 days now. And because of this change and growth, I've got a lot more to say about him. One of the many things Copper has picked up as of late is his absolute hatred for our mailman. Real original, buddy. We have a little mail slot by our front door with a basket under it so the mailman can just plop it on in there. Bing, bang, boom, job's done. But Copper, unfortunately, has the very bad habit of every time he so much as hears what he thinks is the mailman, he starts barking uncontrollably, runs over to said mail slot, rips the mail out of our poor mailman's hand, and starts violently tearing it apart. Copper, no! You can't just rip up mail all the time. Okay, this one you can rip up. That's not the only rocky relationship Copper has in his life. On top of Joe the mailman, I made that name up, there's also Squirrel. What do you mean you don't want me to talk about the squirrel? He's an integral part to your character development. Talk about a super sweet browser that everyone should download? I mean, off the top of my head, this video was sponsored by Opera. I'm sure by now you've heard of Opera. By far the best browser on the market. I've personally been using Opera for 5 years and it's never let me down. It's silky smooth, customizable design, it's fun emojis, the fact that I've gotten a girlfriend because of it. Okay, I made that one up. And so much more! If your tabs are all cluttered with half important stuff and half silly stuff, luckily Opera not only has different workspaces to manage work tabs better, but they've just introduced tab emojis. This way you can personalize your tabs and identify them easier with what emotions you feel best suit them. See, this tab has a confused emoji, because that's an essay I'm writing on why Brody Animates is so handsome. I'm seriously really confused about it. And this tab has a sunglasses emoji, because I have a list of things I want to achieve this summer, but probably won't, like getting a six-pack. Or looking like Tom Cruise. Do you have a million tabs open because you're a big fat freak like me? Luckily with Opera, you can condense your insanity with tab islands. Look at that, that's so much more manageable. I can feel the insanity going away already. There's so many features and custom wallpapers and emojis to plaster everywhere. Opera has always been changing the game when it comes to a better for you browser that's more enjoyable, customizable, and easier to use. So thanks to Opera for sponsoring this video. You gonna let me talk about the squirrel now? One Christmas, I gifted my mother with a bird feeder. I'm such a good son, I know. Mom, if you're watching this, please boost my allowance that I don't have. Now, this bird feeder is reflective, meaning any bird that comes for a nice little snack can't see us stalking him inside and inevitably posting him on social media. But unfortunately, this bird feeder has also brought in some enemies for my fluffy little chum. For over a year, a squirrel has been coming into the bird feeder and eating what is rightfully not his. And Copper has a built-in hatred for the squirrel, and I think he knows it because he tortures him almost every day. You see, the bird feeder is in our kitchen, and a gate blocks off our dining room from our kitchen because Copper is a big fat freak and can't be trusted. So Copper can still see the squirrel in the bird feeder every day, but can't reach him. So on any given day, I will be working in my room when I suddenly hear ah, Old Faithful. Okay, buddy, let's go get him. I usually open the gate and Copper carefully tiptoes over to the door and I let him loose. But he has never once caught the squirrel. The squirrel has a perfect record, if you will. Why, you may ask? Well, the gate isn't the only obstacle. There's also our deck. You see, the stairs to our deck are on the opposite side of the bird feeder, meaning Copper has to run down the stairs and around the deck just to even get close to the squirrel. But unfortunately, the squirrel has already heard the door open and by then is long gone. To this day, Copper has not given up, and I don't think he ever will. He's come close a couple times to reaching the squirrel, but alas, until we build another staircase, that squirrel lives to see another day. Aw, buddy, why the long face? Did he get away again?
Yeah, I just don't know if I'll ever catch him, Dad.
Hey, it's gonna be okay. You're going to catch him one day and save our family from his evil deeds. You just have to believe in yourself.
No, do you really believe that?
No. One thing with Copper is that he's extremely fluffy. So occasionally, as time progresses, some people forget to brush him. So he gets matted, which basically means his fur is all clumped together and messed up, so he needs to get shaved. Which, unfortunately for us, means that for the coming months, Copper looks like a complete and utter rat. I mean, at times it doesn't even look like he's the same dog. Like, it looks like we invited a sleep paralysis demon to come live with us rent-free. And we already have one of those. It also doesn't help that because of Copper's human eyes paired with the shaved exterior and long legs, he just looks scary. So scary, in fact, that we've had multiple people mention to us that Copper looks like a skinwalker. Do you ever think Copper could be a skinwalker? You mean an ancient witch that can disguise themselves as a living animal? I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. Trust me, that claim is not as far-fetched as you think. There was this one time where Copper literally figured out how to open our fence gate outside, so my dad had to raise the doorknob so he wouldn't escape. Where did you adopt him from again? Moving on, as Copper has gotten older, he's become way more attached to us when we're in the house. So every time one of us sits down on our couch, Copper grabs a toy, leaps up onto the couch, then immediately flops down in our lap. He does this so much that when we're feeling extra silly, we call him Copper the Flopper. I mean, he lives up to the name. Another name we've given him is Copper! No! Stop eating that! Okay, I made that up, but that might as well be his name. I want to touch on a subject that I mentioned in the last Copper video, and it's that Copper eats everything, especially new toys that we give him. Every time we get Copper any sort of toy, expect that thing to be destroyed within the same week. Hey, where did the head of Copper's new teddy bear go?
He ate it! He fully digested and pooped it out, Dad. It was horrible. You should have seen it. The agony, the pain. I can still hear the screaming.
It's now gotten to the point where we rarely buy him new toys, meaning the only toys Copper really has are those giant inflatable tennis balls that he can never really destroy, and strings left over from rope toys. And the thing is, he still gets really excited about playing with a disheveled shell of what the rope toy used to look like.
You want to play? You want the toy? Go get it!
Another thing Copper likes to eat is trash. In our bathroom, we have a little garbage can next to the sink with a foot pedal on it. And now Copper knows how to open it somehow. He understands that he needs to step on the pedal and all the disgusting tissues and God knows what else is now up for grabs. Luckily, he's potty trained because he's never allowed in the bathroom. One night, I accidentally fell asleep on the couch and woke up at 1 a.m. to Copper whining in my face to go pee. I tiredly got up because I'm a good father, dang it. And as I was walking to the dining room gate, I realized my bedroom door was wide open. A dreadful sight I've seen too many times. I sleepily peeked into my room and saw that Copper got in and completely ripped open the trash bag that was in there. And after all the years of catching Copper with used tissues and cardboard in his mouth, instead of instantly being fueled with rage after seeing this terrible mess, I looked over and this little guy did not have a single care in the world and was just so excited to go outside and pee. I let out a long sigh and let him go. I then proceeded to pick up all the trash while Copper was outside enjoying his midnight bathroom sesh. Alright, now we're gonna do some lightning round Copper facts. My dad had to build an extension to our dining room gate because Copper would literally jump over it. Copper expects food every time we eat because my mom would let him lick her yogurt cup when she was done with it. He sometimes sits far away staring into your soul as you eat because he wants some. Copper loves chewing on ice. When we ask him if he wants ice, he gets really excited. Copper loves to jump, so when people come over, he tries to jump up and lick their faces while they're standing there. Every time someone in my family comes home, Copper gets so excited he needs to put something in his mouth before he greets us. When Copper was a puppy, we used to have him wear harnesses every day, until he destroyed 4 of them. So we stopped. Copper has run away on a few occasions and almost died. What? Okay, one of those I'll tell. One day, me and my sister decided to bring Copper out to our aunt and uncle's house to play. They have a ton of land, so any trip out there was like an infinite, boundless grass paradise to Copper. They weren't home, but they were cool with us coming over, so we packed Copper's toys and leash and brought him over. While we were there, we took Copper off the leash and he was running around with joy and glee without a care in the world. After over an hour of playing and running, me and my sister decided it was time to pack it up and go home. Unfortunately, Copper did not feel the same way. Every time we would approach him with a big old grin on our faces to leash him up, he did not want to go and kept packing up. It eventually got to the point where he just booked it into the woods and we had to chase after him. Luckily, we always come prepared. We had this collar at the time that came with a remote. We would press a button and Copper would hear a loud beep on the collar and come over to us. So nothing to worry about. We were safe. We left it at home. Yeah, we didn't bring it that day. So here I am, running around my aunt's neighbor's backyard chasing my dog. He would not stop running away from us, and I'm sure to him it was hilarious. Every time we got close to him, he would just book it. At one point, we were actually at the front door of this old lady's house, and she was just watching TV and didn't even know we were outside on her front lawn chasing Copper.
This just in, we're getting reports that 2 idiots could be chasing a dog in your neighborhood. Just be on the watch for that, guys.
Copper then ran into the open country road and was still running from us. And other neighbors were on the road too with their dog. And Copper and him were freaking out. The neighbors even tried coaxing him with bacon, yet every time we got a little bit close to Copper, he still ran away. Eventually, we finally got him. After 30 minutes of chasing Copper around my aunt's country neighborhood, we put him in the car and brought him home. So that was fun. Take me home. Throughout all the craziness, the mail ripping, toy killing, squirrel chasing, trash eating adventures, Copper is still a really great dog. And he really loves and cares about all of us. Being totally vulnerable here, there was one day where I was having a pretty hard time and was crying on my couch. It was only me and Copper at home. He jumped onto the couch and started licking my tears away. And that's exactly what I needed. Not someone licking my face. No, that was still gross. Please don't do that to anyone. But Copper showing that he was there for me. So thanks, buddy, for everything. And if you go into my room again, I'm seriously going to sell you on eBay. Hey everyone, I have not recorded an end card in a very long time, but I will make it quick. Thank you to everyone who worked on this video. Life has been crazy for me the last couple months, so thank you to God for keeping me sane, and my team for pushing me through production on this video. Please check all of them out. They all worked extremely hard on this video. We aren't there just yet at the time of recording this, but I will thank you anyway. Thank you so much for 1 million subscribers. If you were to tell little Nathan about this 8 years ago, I don't think he would believe you. Make sure to check out the merch store. We have some exciting stuff coming this summer, and I'll see you guys at VidCon to those who are going. And if you aren't going, I pray you have a wonderful summer anyway. God bless, guys.